Solving the equation cosine of x equals negative 0.9. So on the left hand side of this equation we see the function y equals cosine of x. On the right hand side we see the constant function negative 0.9. There's no x there. So we could first sketch the graph of these two functions. First the cosine x. The period here for this cosine is 360 divided by 1, so 360 degrees. So I'll take the quarters here, 180, 90, 270. We see that the amplitude is 1. So just to give us an idea, that's where the wave will be. And we know cosine starts at 1, so our graph will more or less look like this. It's just a sketch anyway. Then the constant function negative 0.9, that means, oh, just put the 1 here, so actually the amplitude is 1, so a negative 1. The negative 0.9 is sitting somewhere here, it's just below the 0, and we're not looking at the scale, we're just doing a sketch. So a constant is a horizontal line, so that's the graph of negative 0.9. So solving this equation is actually finding where the two lines intersect. So those two green points are the solutions, well, not the points themselves, but the x corresponding to each of those are the solutions to our equation. First thing we do is we calculate cosine inverse of that negative 0.9. So this is using a calculator, and if we are considering here the range between 0 and 360 degrees, so we would do cosine inverse using the calculator of negative 0.9. So that gives us 154 rounded to the nearest whole degree. So 154 degrees is our first answer. So that means this angle, the arc keeps coming here, and so that means, or the length of that, just for the sake of our calculation, is 154 because it corresponds to the x 154 at the point we see here. Now to discover the other one, the one thing we know is that this mirror image here is the same length as that. So I could say this is actually 154. So the angle that we have there in purple now starts from there, keeps going and stops here. So it stops right there, so it doesn't go up to 360. So we could say that to get that second base angle, we could say this is going to be 360 degrees. Take away that orange part. So what do we get then? 206 degrees, all rounded to the nearest whole degree for now. So, and I had 154 rounded here as well. So the first angle comes from the calculator, the 154. The second angle we calculate by looking at the size of this part here and that part being the same, but the second angle, so we get to that second point of intersection, is actually not the full cycle, but the full cycle taking away 154 degrees. So the two solutions that we have here, because knowing that there is one full cycle in 360, we have two solutions here for this. One of them is 154 degrees, so x is 154 degrees, or x is 206 degrees.